Hello, this is Brad Lemire, VP of Business Development for Sedo. Welcome. It is cold and dark, but a wonderful day here in Boston. Glad to be with you. Today I wanted to talk about some of the things Sedo's doing. Just going to check one thing before we start. Great to visit so many people from all around the world joining us today. It's a great event, and Sedo's more than happy to be part of it. Today, one of the things I wanted to talk about is Sedo's partnership with not only with Cloudbazaar and our support for this event, which we have done now for a number of different years, but our overall partnership with Reseller Club and Logic Boxes. And today, what I'd like to talk about is to share some of the different things that we're doing together, some of the partnerships, and how that will benefit you as a reseller of Reseller Club. Let me jump into our presentation. So who is Sedo? Sedo is a company that's been in the domain business for now over 20 years. We've specialized and focused on premium domains, where over 2.2 million customers now have listed their domains in our Sedo marketplace. There's a total now of over 19 million domains that are listed and are available for sale. And those domains are available to partners like yourself. We have over 30,000 sales as a company per year, and we do about $60 million in sales. We support 11 languages globally and through our marketplaces, and I should say our marketplaces support 11 languages. So we're a global company, and our support and folks that work for us speak over 25 languages. So the goal for Sedo is to support not only locally, but globally. Our offices are both in Cologne, Germany, and here in Boston. So to get into our relationship with Reseller Club and how that benefits you is that Sedo and Reseller Club Logic Box has partnered in order to bring those 19 million domains directly to your storefront. And included in those domains, premium domains, are exclusive new GTLDs, expiring inventory, new auction inventory, and unlisted domains. There's two services that provide this, and one is called SedoMLS Premium, and the other one is SedoMLS Platinum. And so those are the two services that I'll talk about today and share some different aspects of those and how those can support your business. Each of those services are not independent. They actually work together. They essentially provide a platform for your buyers to find the preferred domain that they're looking for. So let's jump into it. SedoMLS Premium is something that's already integrated into Logic Boxes and something they already support. There's a guide available today, and their customer service or account managers have detailed information on it. But to give you a quick overview, what SedoMLS Premium provides to your customers is 10 million buy now domains. The service is completely white labeled. That means buyer comes to your site, doesn't understand that the premium domains come anywhere but from you. You keep control of that customer and the purchase process of the customer. The domain is searched for, it is purchased and transferred directly on your site. That means that every domain that's sold, your buyers have the same opportunity to be introduced to value-added services and domain registrations. And as part of our business, you're able to keep 50% of the commission that's earned by Sedo. So this is SedoMLS Premium, and again, it's available today. If you have questions from the presentation, please include those in the comments. Our administrators will collect those questions and we can answer them after the conference. So the second product, which is something that we've expanded quite recently in the last year or so and found a great deal of success, is called SedoMLS Platinum. And Platinum really incorporates all domains that are available to Sedo. As we talked about the premium product and having 10 million buy now domains available, well, there's 19 million total domains. So as you can see from the illustration in the slide, SedoMLS Platinum actually provides access to the full range of domains. And as you see in some of the checkboxes here, some of the things that are available, one of the big reasons that Sedo built out this Platinum product is that registrars had a delay or issues with building out a functionality that would deal with negotiation between buyer and seller for domains that are not priced. So what we call these are make offer domains. So traditionally we had somewhere in the range of 9+ million make offer domains. Very popular on GoDaddy, obviously. They have an auction platform. Many of our partners do not have that auction platform. So part of the benefit of Sedo focusing on this inventory was to provide a simple way for your end users to get access to even higher valued make offer domains and provide you a platform to do so. And one of the benefits we built from this platform as we go through it is that after the negotiation process, it was very important to our partners, our registrar partners, that the domain buyer is returned back to the registrar so that they can continue their purchase process of value-added services, domain registrations, etc. So as part of this Platinum process, which I'll explain, is that we provide access to the Sedo negotiation platform for the 9 million domains. We provide brokerage support for unlisted domains, and we find a path for the user to come back to the registrar to buy the value-added services. So here's a quick comparison of the two. The commission rate for the Sedo Premium service is 50% of Sedo's commission. And in the Platinum service, it's less. The reason for that is in the Platinum service, Sedo is fully managing the entire process of the buyer. The process of negotiation, the process of confirmation of sale, collection of funds, support, and transferring of the domain back to the back to the partner. As you see, both have access to the 10 million buy now inventory. Within the Sedo Premium, there is no make offer inventory available. Within the Platinum program, we add the 9 million. In the Premium program, we do not have the unlisted domains available. In the Sedo Platinum program, there are access to over 300 million unlisted domains through the Sedo brokerage service. The benefit of the Premium is completely white labeled. However, there's integration required that is given to you by Reseller Club in order to access the technical documentation in order to integrate to the white label. On the SedoMLS Platinum service, it's a referral related service, meaning it's a joint branded referral, and it requires actually very minimal integration. Premium is fully managed by you, the registrar, whereas the Platinum program is fully managed by Sedo, and both programs provide you the access and availability to upsell your customers to your value-added services and your domain registrations. Okay, moving on and jumping into it. One of the key things that Sedo thinks about with our customers, and a lot of feedback that we receive from them, is that the worst experience you can give your customer is a dead-end search. Customer comes to your site, you have a boutique registrar, you have loyal customers, they come to the site, they look for the domain or service that they need, they don't find it, they move on to one of your competitors. So the problem that Sedo looks to help its partners solve is how to make sure that every domain buyer that comes to your website leaves with some action towards the purchase of that service or domain. So some of the things that we'll ask is, what is your marketing cost to secure a new customer? Is your goal to meet your customer's business needs? Do you fear if you don't offer a solution, your customer will go to your competitor? So these are the key things I know as a business owner that you're thinking about, and things that Sedo's thinking about with you. So in order to provide that benefit, is what we've come back with is we can support the gaps in your business by providing non-competing services, so that when a buyer comes to your site, they're able to find the domain that they need, whether it's a premium domain or an unlisted domain. We're able to work with you to provide these services to fulfill the buyer's need, and also then bring the buyer back so that he can purchase these services that are of higher margin, the value-added services. So what does this mean to you? Access to Sedo's complimentary premium domain services, it includes our domain sales, our brokerage, our domain pricing, and monetization. So these are different services that you may not offer today, but are services that Sedo can complement your business. Sedo traditionally is a marketplace, is focused on premium domains. So we don't offer any competing services. We don't offer registrations. We don't offer SSL. We don't offer value-added services. There is no channel conflict between our registrar partners and what Sedo provides. And we think this is important because this becomes the foundation to expand our relationship and find these new customers, grow your business, and provide profitability on the sales of those domains and the supporting services. So one of the things that it's been, as Sedo, as a company that works today with over 60 different registrars globally, and 650 partners that are referral related partners of Sedo, is that we are stuck in position directly in the middle of best practices that come from these different registrars. And the best practices are things that are wonderful to be able to share then with each and every one of our partners. And one of the key best practices that we learned from a partner that is recently integrated with SedoMLS Premium and Platinum, so Premium for their buy now and Platinum for their make offer inventory, is Namecheap. And one very cool result that they shared with us, and I'd like to share with you, is that they reported that 2 out of 3 SedoMLS Premium domain buyers purchased an additional value-added service. So in a sense, as GoDaddy is one of the leaders in our space, and also our largest competitor in our space, but they figured out to lead with a domain because they know that the services that follow are where the profitability lies. And in many ways, Namecheap, selling thousands of domains per month is able to also confirm that truly the domain does lead to other services that are purchased. So again, the summary in this slide: premium domain purchases lead to higher margin web services. Premium domain buyers represent your highest valued customers. And we've seen this over and over with partners, is that a person or company that buys a domain has a preference to buy other services to support the domain and to support their business. For you as a reseller, remember, every premium domain includes a domain registration. So when the buyer buys a domain from Sedo, they have to register that domain, and that's where the domain is registered through you. And finally, something that we think about and talk to our partners quite a bit about is, what is the value of these lifelong customers to your business? So you know the value of a new customer, and you know the value of a lifetime customer to your business. You understand the profitability of that. This kind of boils back to, how can you, when a customer comes to your website, can you fulfill that need and provide them a domain that helps to support their business? So let's get into some examples, real life examples. For SedoMLS, a user for example, at Namecheap, and this is something you can do directly from your computer. You can go to Namecheap. The particular example that we're given here is a make offer domain, but it works the same as if it was a buy now domain. So you go to search. Within search is an API, a simple API that looks up the domain in Sedo's inventory. It's either listed or unlisted. The domain then is displayed to the buyer. In this particular case, is a make offer domain. If this was a buy now domain, it would follow the exact process of a available domain to be registered that you have today. So nothing changes. But in this case, we have a make offer domain. So I'm going to show you the path of the referral path for the make offer domain. So the buyer then comes to this page and he clicks on make an offer. He's then redirected to a Sedo supported joint branded site. Here, the buyer then can make an offer on the domain and go through the negotiation process. So from this site, from Namecheap's site, this is a simple redirect to the joint landing page. And this is the simplicity of the Platinum program. And simplicity is really what we try to focus on. Where the premium has many benefits for the domain to be sold on your website, the Platinum program, the simplicity is what makes it easy to do. You display the domain and pass the domain to a joint landing page where it can be negotiated. Now, as I shared in the beginning, all 19 million domains are available in Sedo's marketplace. So when the domain buyer, these are listed domains, comes here, if this was a buy now domain, he would simply buy it. If it's a negotiated domain, they use the negotiation platform to purchase the domain. So once the buyer goes through the negotiation platform, I wanted to show you the process that we bring the buyer back to you. So a lot of times I think about it as a freeway. You're on the freeway, which is your website. You are going along and you are either buying, purchasing, or managing your services and or your domains. You need an additional service. You pull off the freeway. You get your gas. You come back onto the freeway. So in this case, when the buyer comes from your site, we track that buyer with a campaign ID. So the buyer is tracked all the way through, like many different referral programs, the buyer is being tracked. So when the domain is completed, you'll see that the domain here, you are as the registrar. There's the domain search, there's the domain purchase through the Sedo platform, and then the buyer is taken back to the registrar so that there can be a domain registration. And then within every transfer that happens, we also promote the different services that the partner is promoting in any particular month. So for example, you're promoting web hosting in a particular month. We understand this is your customer. We understand that they just made a purchase. We hold their hand through the purchase process. There are services that you want to promote, which we promote to them. And then at the end of the process, we take that customer and we bring them back to your website to purchase those services and most importantly, to register the domain. And so, for example, now back to Namecheap, this is there where we will refer the domain buyer back to the transfer process at Namecheap. Excuse me. So when they're brought back into they can either be brought really on the transfer back to the registrar, they can be brought into any part of the transfer process that you think is most important. So in this case, they're brought back to the main transfer page. The buyer now has paid for the domain and has received the auth code through Sedo and the seller through our escrow process. He enters the auth code and he transfers the domain to the registrar. So imagine yourself in this position. The domain buyer would come back to you and transfer the domain back into your registration. This is just an example of the current deals that we would be promoting of Namecheap through the domain process, through the domain buying process. The different particular deals that they have in a particular month, those are the ones that we are promoting to that buyer. So we've talked about listed domains, the 19 million domains that are listed in Sedo's inventory. But really when your buyer comes to your website, he's looking for a specific domain that's either that can be available in Sedo's 19 million premium domains, or it may be a domain that's available somewhere out in our ecosystem that is not in Sedo's inventory. So we really think about domains as listed and unlisted. So within the Sedo Platinum service, if a domain is unlisted, the buyer, and for this example, I've provided Saab, which does use some services of logic boxes. So it's a great example of a customer who is actually using the services that you would use for their business. And so in this example, the domain is not listed in Sedo's inventory, but a broker will help the buyer secure any unlisted domains. So for example, this particular buyer is looking for cars.com, obviously not available. So this is an example of how the Saab.com is, again, promoting the domain in their search, using a pop-up over the make offer to let them know that a domain broker will help them to acquire the domain, and then using the same referral path along with the tracking that that we would do in any referral, that would then take the buyer back to the Sedo joint landing page. And here your buyer can see that cars.com is the domain they're looking to buy. It's in cooperation with Saab.com. And they have some information on the application for brokerage, which is there is a fee, which we then split with our partner, and a commission that the buyer pays, which is split also with our partner. Here they hire the broker and they simply go through our brokerage process where the broker helps them to acquire the domain. So what is the pure benefit of this program? We're here to help to acquire new customers, to fulfill every search request, to provide you access to the 19 million listed and 300 plus million unlisted domains, to provide exclusive new GTLD domains, auction in inventory, auction and expiring inventory. And one quick mention to the new GTLD domains. So for example, Donuts has a program, a platinum program, for their high value domains that are not available through EPP lookup. So these are their exclusive high value domains they keep in a vault and are looking for the highest value for those domains. They have a program which they may have spoken to you directly about, where you can offer those domains to your customers. And there's a process that your customer fills out a form and contacts them and has access to that inventory. That inventory is also available through SedoMLS. So Donuts has their inventory listed with Sedo. That inventory then is available to your search, and that inventory then is also available through the referral platinum program back to Sedo, where a buyer can negotiate for that domain. So essentially, the highest value domains that are held by MMX, Radix, Donuts are all part of this program as make offer, and they're all now available in your search. Of course, the benefit of that is not only does your buyer have access to that exclusive inventory, but also those are extremely high value domains. I think one of the larger domains that we sold for Radix was a casino related domain for over 200,000 US dollars. So as you can imagine, there is tens of thousands of these domains in that inventory, and that inventory is part of the inventory that Sedo supports. And again, not to hit it too many times, but again, even the point of this presentation is that the domain is the gateway to the registration and the high value, the high valued web services that are your higher margin services. So finally, as next steps, LogicBox and Reseller Club support these services today. They have a guide available that would outline exactly what is needed in order to turn these services on and how they can support your integration. Premium is available and ready to integrate, and Platinum is something that they have currently turned on that is managed through Reseller Club and Sedo directly. For more information, contact your LogicBox Reseller Club representative, or you can contact us here at Sedo through our partner program, partners@sedo.com. So that's the presentation. In closing, I would say that Sedo has spent a lot now, has had the SedoMLS network live for almost 9 years. It represents today more than 50% of all Sedo sales. So what we're finding is buyers are coming to registrars, finding the domain they need. And this is something that, again, Sedo now has found best practices to be able to support, not only directly from your website, but to offer you tools like our negotiation platform so that in the end, there are no dead-end searches for your customers, and that you are creating profitability against not only domain names, not only the commissions that they represent to you, but the sale of those supporting services. So that's my presentation today from cold and dark Boston. It's been more than a pleasure to be here and share this with you. We're super excited about this program. We've had tons of support from Reseller Club. We really like to be able to bring this program to you, answer any questions that we have, that you have, and be able to support you in any way possible. So with that, thank you, and please let me know if you have questions. Okay, so we have one question. It says, why should we opt for a premium domain when there are so many domain extensions available for a cheaper price? Great question. Everybody has seen the growth in new GTLDs, something Sedo 100% supports. It's represents, though, only about 3 to 5% of our total business. So whereas new GTLDs are an important part of our ecosystem and is something that obviously is growing every single day, if you look at the data, you'll also see that .com sales are also continuing to grow. So where you would think that in our business that with the influx of new GTLDs, that .coms would somehow go down. And actually, we've seen just the opposite. We've seen the value of .coms go up. And because of that, what we've learned, in something that VeriSign also shares, is that although a cheaper alternative can be available, there is no better real estate than .com. And because of that, it's not, I mean, again, we're a neutral marketplace, we support everything, but we do see that the .com values have gone up. We see that people recognize that in their real estate, in their brand. And our recommendation is that if you can find a .com, it's going to be more recognizable. And if you're building a branding strategy and you can build it off a premium domain and add additional extensions where you can point those extensions back to your .com and or your Facebook and or your social media, then many digital advertising companies talk about that as a preferred method. But it does start with a solid name. If you can get that in an alternative extension, wonderful. But lots of people are out there looking at key domains as they look at real estate. They have purchased those domains. They're either domain investors or someone that has had a site and had success from that site and then goes out of business. So premium domains are something that are the domains that I would say are the highest in real estate, and one reason why it's not just a pure swap for a cheaper domain. Okay, so we have a second question. I want to sell a domain that I have. How do I sell it through Sedo? There's two things. One is if you have a domain and you want to sell it through Sedo, you can come to Sedo Direct, and you can excuse me. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. You can come to Sedo Direct and you can open an account and you can sell the domain. That domain then gets picked up in our MLS network and other networks that we sell domains through, and the domain can sell. Also, if you're a registrar or a reseller, you can through the integration that Reseller Clubs has with Sedo, you can actually list your domain through your registrar. That would then become available on Sedo and be able to be sold through the Sedo networks. So two ways: either directly through your registrar if they're supported, if they support MLS listing side, or directly from Sedo itself. I want to thank you guys all for attending the presentation. I wish you the best and a healthy holiday season. And if you have questions, again, partners@sedo.com. We look forward to answering any questions that you have. Take care.